let's start planning 4 different chat blasts, one of which we'll send out this morning, maybe 2, we'll see what happens. I like to plan my chatbots, whether they be blasts, drips, or more complex chatbots, especially the more complex chatbots that I'll use like in messenger ads or full blown out funnels. I like to plan those in advance using just a diagram or using like a Google drawing or just an iPad or something like that, because it gives me a sense of, it gets me thinking about better ideas, and it also gives me a sense of the pages and the organization that I'm going to need inside my chatbot. So we're going to do a quick plan of 4 different chatbots, okay? So we're going to build a coupon /sale. That's the first chatbot we'll build. Then we're going to build a, let's say a lead gen call CTA. So call to action is I want people to call the company to generate leads to a sales force. The third chatbot we're going to build is a new product line. And the fourth chatbot we're going to build is a competitive advantage. So let's say competitive. This is a fun one. I love doing this one. Now, each one of these blasts could be complex, multi-page, multi-group funnels. We'll build most of them as simple funnels to start, because we'll do a lot of more complex things later on. But maybe we'll do, let's say, the competitive advantage one will make a multi-page. But let's just say the coupon on the sale. So what do I want to think about? What do I want to accomplish? That's the first thing that I think about when I plan any sort of chat blast or drip or that goes out. So goal is basically to get people to use the coupon. Use coupon, right? And this is easy, but like as you write these out, like you'll see that it's helpful to plan it this way. So what sort of techniques do I want to use? Remember, we spoke about all the different principles of persuasion. We want to use scarcity. Right? And remember to contrast with abundance. Remember that concept we spoke about? Contrast with abundance. We want to use urgency, which is sort of part of scarcity. And remember we spoke about the FOG behavioral model, what type of trigger we need. Are these people high in motivation, or are they high in perceived ability? Where do we need to move the trigger? Where do we need to move the needle for this audience? So for a coupon sale, let's say this is a furniture company, I think there's high in perceived ability, like no one has any problem with checking out online. So I think our goal here is to increase motivation. So we need to think about like how good of a sale we're going to actually run and how we're going to phrase it. So if I just start planning out my bots a little bit, it doesn't need to be fully planned out or fully drafted. I just want to get a basic idea. So we're going to start off with, let's say, a quick question, right? Just to get some initial engagement. We'll use an emoji or whatever it may be. That'll be the first step of this chat blast, and we'll have a single answer. So I write SA for single answer. And then we're going to have some PT stands for personalized text, using the text widget. And I'll say something like, how are you feeling today? What about a coupon? Something like that. We'll figure it out as the time comes. And then we're going to have, okay, thanks, first name. That sounds awesome. We want to let you know that there's a limited time sale running. And then maybe I'll do a typing widget. And then maybe I'll put something here that gives that urgency. Another text widget that gives urgency. I'll give the coupon code that they could use. I'll do something with scarcity, where maybe the coupon code is going to expire soon, something like that. And then maybe we'll do like a gallery with some products and links to best-selling products. Gallery links. Okay? Now this looks like a pretty good Chatblast. I understand my goal. Understanding the goal of the Chatblast helps me understand which psychological principles I want to implement: scarcity, urgency, contrasting with abundance. Thinking about the audience here is helping me understand that these are people who are already high in perceived ability. This is not an overly complex task. They just need an additional, they need a little bit of additional motivation. And now I can go and actually build out this bot in a rough draft, and I can get a really good sense of how I want it to look on the inside. Let's take a look at the lead gen call to action. So again, what's my goal? The goal is to get phone calls, right? Now we're gonna pretend this is our client that sells medical equipment, the portable oxygen concentrators, okay? This is a real client. Now, they sell all their products over the phone. They don't sell online. These are expensive units. There's it's a complicated purchase order. It's all done on the phone. So I want to establish likability, right? Because I want people to be comfortable calling our sales team. And likability is important because no one wants to speak to likability. Nobody wants to speak to somebody who's not likable. So I want to establish that sort of sense of friendship. I want to establish reciprocity, right? I want to do something. I want to establish a feeling of indebtedness where again, like I spoke about in this last lecture, we're taking a gamble on you, take a gamble on us. We're here for you. Don't just buy from us for our sake, okay? Now, think about the Fogg behavioral model, right? What do we need to do in terms of our calls to action? Again, I think this one's a little bit trickier. I think this one's actually where we need to increase perceived value. I think in this Chatblast, it's very similar where these users are very highly motivated to buy, but they have low perceived ability, meaning it's expensive, right? So an expensive product creates a low perceived ability because I'm not sure if I could afford this, I'm not sure if it's worth it. So we need to increase a sense of value, which will increase that sense of ability. Notice that over here, in some cases where you have low perceived ability, you need to simplify something because that low perceived ability could be a result of somebody assuming that this is too complicated. But oftentimes, you could have a low perceived ability because it's too expensive. That's also another function of low perceived ability. So again, I'm going to start off with a quick question. And I think it's going to be something that's nice and light, something to establish our brand voice to tie into this idea of likability here. Okay, I'm going to ask them to engage. I'm going to ask them, then I'm going to send out news, okay? I'm going to send out news in the form of what I know about our product. So I know that we're going to send out a text widget, and it's going to be about battery power and weight of the units, because I know that those things are very important to people. Then I want to do something that shows that like we're doing something on their behalf. So I'll say something like, our call center is very busy, but if you call us now, we could prioritize you. Or I'll say something that, give me a second, I'll check with my supervisor if we could get a certain discount for you today, something like that. So we're going to put in, we have the text widget, battery weight. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a typing thing here. And then over here, we could put something like reciprocity, favor. See, I don't need to know exactly what I'm going to write now. I just like to know my structure. Because when I know my structure, I get a good sense. And then planning it out this way gives me a good sense of putting the right psychological components in there at the right times. And then I'm going to do finally, right after that, we're going to have I'm going to do a product that's on sale. So we'll do, let's say, an image or a gallery, we'll see, or gallery link, probably an image. And then we'll have the call to action to call the call center. And then this will be a text widget with a button to call.